James Chadwell is a name that's linked to the prime suspect of the Abby and Libby case. Can we conclusively say that this is the guy and we've got him? What can face reading reveal? And I have my own composite, and I'm going to show you why you felt that there's something uneasy about this guy.
A potential major development in the Down the Hill killings. 4 years ago, 2 teenage girls were murdered after crossing a train bridge in Delphi, Indiana. Now, a man has been arrested nearby for abducting a 9-year-old girl and locking her in his basement. Is there a connection?
An accused predator is reportedly being investigated for possible links to the slayings.
The community here wants answers.
His name is James Chadwell. He is 42. He is a laid-off welder from Lafayette, Indiana, 20 miles from the city of Delphi, where the
Okay, that's where we're gonna stop here. And what are we going to do today? We're gonna talk about face reading. There are other videos that do a very detailed analysis on James Chadwell, and I urge you to go watch that if you want a very detailed on voice forensic. But my expertise is on face profiling. I'm going to start off by doing that. I'm also going to give you my point of view on the other things that I've seen. We start off with this composite of James Chadwell. I'm going to bring this forward here. And you know, as a face reader, we like to pick up a few things, and I want to be very careful because those of you who are going to accuse me of saying, hey, it's just because of his nose or his eyes or his ears, you're going to say, you're going to incriminate him. Well, not really. Okay, so we'll start off with the hairline, and this is considered a very jagged hairline. Most of you put up your hairline, you're going to see it's very even, or you're going to see the widow's peak that you see on, I think, must be sexy, the widow's peak. Okay, for in this case, when there's a jagged hairline, that's one of those red flags. I'm not picking this up from nowhere. I've got a huge amount of data and all these composites, which I use them for references. And you know, this is like a big data thing. And this, you have this uneven hairline. It tells me, I'm going to be very careful about this. It tells me that this guy's way of thinking is not really mainstream, okay, but that's just a red flag. It's not conclusive, and it's not incriminable in court anyway. Okay, the other thing that we see is, of course, is the high forehead. High forehead people might is often associated with Asperger's and all those, but again, it doesn't mean he has Asperger's. It's just a red flag, and we are going to take note of that. Then he has the winged eyebrow, and most of the time this is pretty accurate. He is in a way in control, domineering, needs to be right. Okay, he has his point of view, and it's really difficult to influence him. Then you see the huge jaw line, the huge face structure. You see this in bullies, and if you watch movies, directors always cast those with bigger jawline as being more domineering, and you know, they will be aggressive and take advantage of people, etc. And then this might be something very new to you, the philtrum here, which is the part between the nose and the lips. If it's that size, that large size, that you can almost rest your thumb on it, he has a very high sexual drive. Okay. Then there is a thin lips. Lots of criminals do have thin lips, and I know some of you are watching in and you have thin lips. That doesn't make you a criminal. A lot of the criminals will have thin lips because they have something to hide, and if those of you who are watching in have thin lips, don't get offended. It doesn't mean you're a criminal, but you are slow to open up to others. Okay, you're very careful. Maybe you've been hurt before. So it takes time for you to trust someone before you open up yourself. Okay, so in the likes of funny man Robin Williams, okay, he takes time to open up to people. It doesn't mean that he is not sociable. He can talk to anyone. He just doesn't talk about himself. Okay, there's the goatee. There's a certain kind of sideburns, and the tattoos are showing. So these adds up to a certain kind of profile. I've just done a video on tattoos, and this video educates you to how to identify different types of tattoos. So if you ask me, are people with tattoo dangerous? No, it depends what type of tattoo and how they express it. So there are tribal tattoos, there are religious tattoos, there are tattoos where people document the events, and like sailors where they've gone to, they put a certain country or a girl or Hawaiian girl on their body. And there are also criminal tattoos. So what we are interested today is to see if James Chadwell have either of these things and what do the tattoos mean. Right here I see a cross. I'm not sure if this is related to white supremacy type of cross where the Nazi Germans have it. I'm not sure. I can't really see. I'm not very certain about it. There is one particular symbol that most of the readers brought it up, and this is the one on the arm. There are two pictures that we want to see here. One is the clock, and the other is a face where they think this is Liberty German. There's an uncanny resemblance to Liberty German. It really looks like her. Now the thing is, do you ask the question why the image on the tattoo is smiling, yet there's tears coming down from the eyes? Have you thought about it? Why would a person who is smiling is also crying? In this case, I really don't think it's the tears of joy, but rather perhaps James took a picture of the victim, asked the tattoo expert to put it onto his to image it on his arm, and then he says, could you put some tears? Because that would probably be the last image that James Chadwell saw as Liberty died. Okay? It's a hypothesis. I'm not saying that this is accurate. The interesting about this is, for a moment we see that the tattoo's on the right hand, and then the next moment you see it on the left hand. So it's quite strange because I see two sets of pictures, and how do we tell if which photograph has been flipped and which photograph is accurate? So as he emerged from the courtroom, you notice that the tattoo is on his right side of his arm, and as he swings to the left, you can see that the poster is not in reverse, it's in a correct position. So this film has not been flipped. So we can confirm that it is on his right arm. Wait a minute, do you see this? Here is another picture of a face, and I've googled on the internet and I've not seen anything that's written about this face. Now, if the earlier picture was a recording of what he has done, then this could also be it. Most of you already know that James Chadwell has been arrested because he has adopted kids, and they found a young girl fully naked and chained up at his basement. You already know that this guy is a bad guy. The question is he the murderer? And you know what? I don't have psychic powers and I cannot tell you, but it's very interesting to note that the tattoo does look like Liberty German. The question now is, can we find out and can we have pictures of him before the murder? Did he have the picture of Liberty German? And if he doesn't, and only after the time when she was murdered that the picture has been etched on, then there's a high possibility that he is the murderer. But if the picture is on his biceps before the murder, then unless he has been targeting her for a long time, I seriously doubt that he could have a picture that resembles Liberty German and then send to the person that tattooed him. But then again, why can't you just find the guy, the tattoo artist, and ask him or her, when was this tattoo done?
Judge Stephen Meyer is taking the request under advisement, meaning...
Don't you think she also looked like Liberty German? Okay, and finally we have this less than professional composite software, and I've put this picture as close as I can on James Chadwell. I don't have the same hairline, but the eyebrow, the eyes, the nose, the lips, the goatee here, I try to put it as close as possible. And the point of this is that I am going to change some of the features so that at least those of you who are interested in face reading suddenly understand why we can pick up those kind of signs. Okay, for lots of weary people, drug addicts, criminals, they have just droopy eyelids that cuts down on the upper part of their iris. Okay, so if you take a bigger eye, let's see if I can get a bigger eye, a fresher looking eye, like this guy. Ooh, fresh eye. It's interesting. Okay, how about this one? Now he doesn't look so. He doesn't look so evil. He doesn't look like so much of a criminal. And then if we put straight eyebrows or even curved eyebrow, you will see the demeanor completely change. Okay, and if we raise the eyebrow higher, there we go, up. Okay, he looks less threatening. And then if we put thicker lips, you see it completely changes his face. Oops, that's not. Okay, there we go. Okay, just a few tweaks and few changes, you will see the drastic difference. Now we remove the goatee. Look at that. A totally new person. So several months back I did a video on this Delphi murders, and so someone wrote to me and alerted to me that, hey, there's this guy called James Chadwell that has been arrested, can you just read into it? The moment I saw his picture, it's like alarm bells. I've seen so many photographs, and you know, at one look we know whether this is a good person and this guy is a little bit shifty. And this guy goes right into that shifty zone, and because of all the clues that has been shown and manifested on his face, you know, this is a guy that I will look deeper into it, and you know, alarm bells will definitely ring. You know, good job to the police to have caught him, and you know, he is responsible for some crimes, and I hope the police will start doing their interrogative work and will be able to break him, and he would confess if he's the real killer. And you know, once again, to the people of the Delphi area, my heart goes out to you for this very sad story. I hope this case will be closed very quickly and that the family members will have a closure.